everyone. Well, I'm sitting here with Hazel, and we're coming to you this morning to go over a new lesson today. I think I'll do another walk down, just one more, and I'll try to bring in a little bit of finger picking with that as well. So before we get started though, I did want to bring up one subject. I was thinking about it today. You know, sometimes it's a lot cheaper to buy a used instrument than to go out and buy a brand new one. And when you know, wherever your source is, it's always a good idea to play it, see it first if you can. You take big chances when you buy stuff online, not really knowing. But the question comes up constantly is, well, if I'm going to go buy one, let's say I see one come up on the marketplace online and it's in town, I'm going to go see it. First of all, make sure wherever you connect, it's a safe place. I know in this town here, what we do is the police department made a safe place in the parking lot of our police department. And so that's where people connect because it's always under camera surveillance. And if people want to buy something or sell something, they connect at that parking lot. And it seems to work really well. It doesn't gather a huge amount of traffic, but when something like that comes up, it's nice to know you're in a safe spot to make that connection. So that's kind of the first thing, you know, is make sure when you're making a connection that, you know, bring somebody with you, you know, be safe. But when you're checking the guitar out, exactly what do you look for? There's a number of things you need to look for. I'm going to touch on a couple of them very quickly. The first thing that comes to mind when I look at a guitar is I want to know about the structure of the instrument. You know, is there a lot damage? Is there something that needs to be fixed? You know, how much will it cost me to fix it? Is it fixable even? Is it worth fixing? And so some of the structural issues that I think about, first of all, is this neck here. You know, when I pick it up, the first thing I look at is right in here to see if this is loose and pulling away. And you'll see that happen sometime with guitars where there'll just be a gap between the neck and the body. So that's a good place to look. And then I go down and I look at the bridge, and I might take a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper here. I use this little tiny piece, and I'll just run it down below to see if there's any gaps under here where a piece of paper can slide under, because if it can, it means this bridge is lifting up. And if the bridge is lifting up, you know, it's not that difficult to take it off. Well, I shouldn't say that. It takes you have to pay somebody to do that if you don't know what you're doing. But it is possible to take it off and then re-glue it. But a number of things can happen when you do that. I mean, you could damage the top, damage the finish. There's all kinds of things. So, but on the other hand, it can be done. It can be done safely to fix a guitar that has a lifting bridge. But it's something you need to look for. So the neck, the bridge, I always like to look at the action to see if the strings are too high off the fingerboard. I usually carry a little gauge. They call them an action gauge for guitars, where you can measure it, and it'll usually on that gauge give you the measurements that you need, or you can look them up. But I'm usually looking for about 0.09 inch at the 12th fret, you know, maybe 0.08, and give her plus or minus 0.02. So I'm kind of looking for that to make sure that's okay. There's a number of things that you're not going to understand if you've never done it, but I look at the relief as well, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But I think the main thing is that if you pick it up and you look to see if the neck is loose, if you look to see if the bridge is lifting up, if you look to see if the action is too high, you know, check your tuners to make sure they actually turn, that the little knobs aren't broken off, because they'll need to be replaced if they are, that it actually holds a tune. So tune it up and play it. Do you like the way it sounds? Are the frets, you know, coming up when you run your hand over it? Are the frets real sharp? I mean, that's all fixable, but it kind of means that the guitar's been dried out, which can bring out other problems like the top lifting and warping and the neck warping. But yeah, those are just some things that I think about when I'm buying a guitar. So I kind of wanted to bring that up. I know that's a subject that I could give a whole lot more time to, but I did want to touch on it today, that if you're out buying a guitar, be safe about it, but look for those things. Don't just take it just because it looks nice. Make sure it's structurally sound as well, something that you can play for a long, long time. Get a little history about it. Talk to them about where it come from, how long have you had it. If it's a vintage guitar, sometimes they're going to have those issues, and it's worth every penny taking it to someone that knows what they're doing to get it in shape for you and just reset it up or to reset the neck. So do your homework about that guitar before you go see it, but don't be afraid of doing it. I think it's exciting getting new guitars, and it's even more exciting if you can find one that's used, that's at a good price, so you didn't have to pay the full price that you would in a store. So, okay, so that being said, today I have a lesson for you, and I thought we'd do another walk down. Did one yesterday. Everybody seemed to like that, and it wasn't quite as hard as the day before. Some of the much more complicated chords progression that I showed you. So same thing with this. This is pretty easy to do. So let's take a look at it. It might be something you already know. It's definitely, this walk down is something you'll hear in a lot of music. A lot of contemporary gospel music. They use it in the worship songs. A lot of the folk songs have these same chords being used in these walk downs. You could probably name a zillion songs when you listen to this walk down. So, but it's good to know. And so let's just talk about it. And there's different ways to pick it, but we're going to stay simple to start with. And I'm just going to take my thumb, and I'm going to use that thumb to take care of the 6, 5, and 4 string. And I'm going to use these 3 fingers to take care of 3, 2, 1 string, okay? And to start picking, today we're just going to start this first part. I'm going to show you something more advanced, but this first part, just the thumb hitting the low note and the first finger 3, and then second finger 2, and then your ring finger 1 string. That's how we're going to, okay, that's how we're going to pick. Okay, that being said, make a G chord and play that first round there. Okay, just play it one time. And then we're going to go to an F sharp by taking our thumb and playing it. See that? See how I did that? Okay, but not just that. I want you to take these fingers here and make a D chord. So it goes. Okay. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, if you're having a hard time doing that, you could do this. Play your G chord, then take your first finger, and don't play the D string, just leave that pinky on the first string, 3rd fret. So it sounds like this. Instead of this. Okay? So you could do it either way. Or you could do this. Okay? Alright. So, but we're going to stick to the thumb, okay? Then I'm going to go to the E minor, put that chord chart up there for you, and then go back to the D, and then go back to the G. So it sounds like this. way to pick it, okay? You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to show you why I'm doing it this way. My thumb is going back and forth between the 6th string and the 4th string. And my 1st finger, and I'm alternating between my 1st finger and my 3rd finger. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, so this is, I'm just adding things to it, different things that you can do. These are not songs, these are just runs and things you can do. So here's another one that you could do. Let's go back to the very simple E minor, and then go to C. And play the C starting with the A string, which you've got your ring finger on the C note. Okay. E minor, C. So we're gonna go C, C, down with a C. C, then the middle finger is on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, or 5th string, and then open, and then 3rd fret, 6th string. End it right there. Take that, play around with it, see if you can figure out some things with it. If you have any questions, leave them for me. I'll try to answer. And hopefully that'll help you out and add you something new to your little box of tools when you're playing the guitar. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day out there, wherever you are in this world.